So continuing to add to our repertoire, add to our body of experiences. Remember, we're not moving on until we've processed where we've been. A lot to cover. We don't have to have mastery over any of this. And the speed of progress is going to vary from person to person. That's all completely natural, normal, and individual. Incidentally, one of the things that I want to mention, as you're moving forward in your experience, one of the things that's available to you that you might consider, if you come up against anything where you're having a stumbling block or there's something that you want to tease out and develop, don't forget that we have hundreds and hundreds of trained and licensed Simply Music educators all around the world. So if you want to supplement your experience, or if you want to address a hurdle, if you want someone who's able to work with you and see where there might be a blind spot in your learning and support you over that hurdle, well, you can easily have just a supplemental coaching session with any one of our educators. If there's not an educator in your area, at the Simply Music website, simplymusic.com, we have a locator map. And that will let you know if there's an educator in your area. But if there's not, we have many, many, many of our teachers around the world who offer coaching and regular lessons online. So it would be very easy for you to reach out to one of our teachers and either have lessons live, supplement, even if it's a coaching session. You're welcome also to continue on and have regular ongoing lessons with the Simply Music teacher. And whether you do that in person or whether you do that online, they're all very, very important and very viable options that are available to you to not only enhance your experience, but in particular really deepen and strengthen your musicianship and help to best prepare you for that journey of acquiring music and retaining it as a lifelong companion. So that's one of the things I want to mention. Now, with this particular piece that I'm going to show you for Augus, we're going to approach this a little bit differently. I'm going to start by playing the piece in its entirety, and I think just by watching what I'm doing, you're going to if you're looking for patterns, when I say a pattern, I'm just talking about something that tends to occur and reoccur. I want you to just have a look at the process, and we're going to put this together. I'm going to dive straight into doing this with the soundtrack. So let's have a listen, watch what's going on, and then we'll break it down and put it together very, very quickly for you. Okay. Repeat. It's a beautiful piece. Lovely sound. Let's break down and see how simple this really is. Okay, let's start with the right hand. I'm taking my right hand, I'm putting it on C, middle C. I played these three notes, and then I played them again. Now, then what I did is I took these three notes and I just moved them down one note. I took those three notes and I moved them down one note. I'm playing that cycle through twice. I moved it down one note. Who wants to predict what's coming next? Exactly, moved it down a note. And what now? Yes, moved it down a note. I moved it down a note. In this instance, I repeated this. Here's the C. I'm on the note that starts, it's just above the C, so it's the D. And I actually do this one twice. Okay, so once more, fairly quickly now. It's just these three notes played twice. I move it down. I move it down. Nothing to it. I move it down. and down again, and down again, and down again, and then repeat that one. Wow, was that it? Pretty much that was it. I actually did the same thing up higher, and in fact, when I started here in the C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, brings me back to a C, 8 notes higher. In music, we call that an octave. So I played the same thing, but I moved it an octave higher. I'll come back to that in a moment. I want to go back to the first section and show you what I did in the left hand. Now, one of the things that I'm very aware of is that I'm moving through this very quickly. Why am I doing that quickly? Because I want to push into sort of stretching you a little bit. I've given you lots of instruction. We've broken things down. We're taking it very carefully, very slowly. You've always got the option to pause the video, but now once we start to see, oh, I get it, it's just a simple pattern, 3 notes that repeat, play it twice, and then we just move it down one note, down one note, down one note. You don't really need me to be explaining this in any more detail. You can pause the video if you want to process it, but the learning of the what to play is very, very straightforward. We've just got these 3 and we just move it, down and play that last cycle that I got to twice. Let's have a listen a look at what I'm doing with the left hand. It's really straightforward. I've got 5 fingers over 5 notes with C on the bottom. And I'm actually just playing the outside 2 notes, just for the purpose of explaining. I'm tucking these fingers out of the way. You certainly wouldn't need to do that, when you're playing. In fact, don't do that when you're playing it, but just for the purpose of this conversation, I'm playing the outside 2 notes, bum, 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 bum. And when I move my right hand down to the next group of 3, watch what I do here. In fact, let me just play out the left hand and see if you can see for yourself a certain pattern. Just watch the left hand. There's a little bit of difference there. I'm playing the outside two notes in my starting place, and I just lowered the bottom. I came down one more note, but it's 5 over 5, 5 fingers over 5 notes. I'm playing the outside 2 notes, and then I'm lowering the bottom. I'm coming down again. It's 5 fingers over 5 notes, but it's just the outside 2 and lowering the bottom. Coming down again, the outside 2 notes. But in this instance, after I've played that, I'm just playing this note here on its own. So once again, and down, and down. Let's have a look at both hands together. My right hand, when it's playing its 3-note pattern, the left hand comes in on the top note of each pattern. So it's da-dum, here's the top note, bum, ba-da-dum. Now, as the right hand moves down one note, what happens is the left hand just makes that first change. And the first change is really just coming down one note. So my left hand's in position, and similarly with my 3 notes here, I'm going to play them, and the left hand plays with the top note. I repeat that process. And this one is where there's a little bit of a change. I'm actually playing the 3 notes again, and just this finger. That's the first cycle. That really sort of leads us into the second cycle. Second cycle does exactly the same thing. Instead of being here, it's all just moved up one octave. Once again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It brings us back to C, and we repeat the process. It just has a more lilting, lovely, lighter sound. So as the actual soundtrack itself is filling out, the piano itself is moving into a lighter rendition. It does exactly the same thing. So sweet. Now, the ending is different. So, I'm going to take you through that again once more fairly quickly, and I want you to watch what I'm doing at the end. Once more, very quickly. First section. Right hand comes down, left hand changes. Right hand come down, left hand changes. Right hand comes down, left hand makes its change. Right hand comes down, left hand makes its change. Right hand comes down, left hand makes its change. Now watch what happens here. I've got my left hand in position, my right hand is in position. So I'm really just da 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 da. I'm just coming down each of these notes, and it's comfortable for me to just cross over. Nothing complicated about that. Da 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 dum da da dum. When it comes over to the C, I'm just going to play a C here in my left hand. Very straightforward. I don't want to give you any more instruction than that. I want you to actually watch what I'm doing, see if you can piece it together. And what I'm going to do once more is I'm just going to play it through. And now, having explained the process, you'll see exactly what it is that I'm doing and hear it in context. And higher, same thing. Okay, and you could repeat the whole process over again in that second cycle, but that's for Augus in its entirety. I'm leaving a lot of the responsibility now for you to be able to watch what's happening on the video, take your time processing that, but I'm sure you'll be able to put this together quite comfortably. It'll involve a little bit more responsibility on your part, but it's absolutely worth it, and it's one more beautiful type of orchestral piece to add to your repertoire. Great job. See you soon.